Hi YouTube! After a quick light adjustment, I am now ready to give you another episode of All Things Mini. Again, I'm really not sure which episode this is going to be, so I hope you bear with me on that. And this is a sort of a video response to the latest Warhammer Wednesday from what's her name? Joey, Warhammer Joey. And I mean, I've been, I do follow Warhammer Joey. She follows my blog and what else have you. I mean, she's fantastic for the hobby and stuff like that. So carry on watching her videos and and support her in what she does. One thing that she did say was on the video that I'm discussing as her latest Warhammer Wednesday thing, was that she had to fight against an apathy and techniques that she uses in apathy, and I can only but agree with that apathy. And the fact that you experience it as is, not the sort of, be apathetic towards your painting. There are other issues though that you must sort of realise, and one of them is that, as you'll notice from the sheer level of crap I have all over practically my whole house, it can also take over your life, and if you've got other things to deal with, like myself, I'm just about to start my final year of my PhD, which is far too important for me to sort of continue with the actual painting aspects. I will be hanging up my brushes for a year and then getting back into it once I've hopefully managed to find myself a position, hopefully after I get, once I get my doctorate and everything like that. You've got to, with most things in life, there's, if you do too much of something, is it going to be quite detrimental? If you don't do enough of something, is that not terribly good? These issues are, very much, at the forefront of sort of hobbying and stuff like that. There was a story I was told by one of the people that works at Games Workshop near where I am. A good group of blokes there, and it was quite shocking because there was a chap who went through early retirement, finished his work with a very healthy retirement fund, and then found that he was having to go back to another job, getting in for about a year to a year and a half worth of hobbying, because he had found that he'd spent at least £100,000 or something like that on models, painting supplies and all that sort of stuff. He just went absolutely crazy. So, there are major issues, and you do have to understand, these things. When is your painting taking over your life? When are you, sort of need to get, an army ready for a tournament and stuff like that? All these things you just have to weigh up, but you do it subjectively. Just take a step back and go, right, am I painting too much? In my case, I was painting a little bit too much. I have hardly been playing. I played a 6.5 hour battle, Storm of Magic battle yesterday, which I will stick the bat rep on my channel. And listening to Warhammer Joey, now so I'm a fan of Warhammer Joey. I think she's fantastic. It's good to have a nice, very, very good-looking girl who's very funny, very clever. It's nice to have people like that in a very male-predominant and geek-predominantly sort of, hobby. But she did say that she was doing commission work and what else have you. And the one thing I really do like about Warhammer Joey is that she's very honest, and she won't sort of bullcrap you and I'm the best, I do this, I do that. She just basically says you as tells you as it is. Now, when she said that, she was hello Scan, that's my big cat has just been involved in a fight, so he's wanting a bit of a cuddle, a bit TLC. Anyway, yes, when she said that she was doing commission work, it took me back a little bit, not because of the fact that she is or isn't a good painter. I suppose it's just because of the level of time that she's been involved in the hobby. I thought, oh, okay. But again, when you consider people like Lester Bursley, I've been involved in the hobby a lot longer than Lester Bursley, but he's a Golden Demon winner, and I'm not. So, we've all got our own sort of, skills. Obviously, people like what Joey does, people like what Lester Bursley does, people like what Jedi Franny on YouTube does. You know, I like all what they do, so it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, people like what I do, you know, it's just, you know, it's very much swings and roundabouts. But when she was there talking about the commission stuff, it got me thinking, because actually I watched Lester Bursley's bit of a chat on commission and commission related stuff, and I thought, well, I'll do a video on commission related stuff. And it's very true, because when you're doing commission, what you normally find is, and my cat's now stealing into my bin, so I'm just going to have to remove him. Sorry about that, YouTube, but my cats are incessantly greedy. But still, anyway. Yeah, commission work. Commission is a very, very strange thing. It's a double-edged sword. If you love your painting, be prepared to not like it so much if you're doing commission. If you're one of these people that just lives for your painting and you'll love to do commission work, then that's fine. But there are many, many issues that you have to consider. One of the things that Warhammer Joey touched on, which I certainly suffer from, is that if you're doing the same thing all the time, you get really bored with it and you think, oh, and then the apathy starts, and as she said, then you have to try and fight through that apathy, and it's very true. It is so true, it's unbelievable. And I had a commission, it was just a little while back, for a chap who wanted Grey Knights, and he kept adding more and more to the job. And I was just getting so sick and tired of bog and metal, highlight with this, recess with that. Oh look, I've got all these purifiers to do. Oh look, I've got all these paladins to do. Oh look, I've got this to do. I've got, oh, more shields, more, you know, this, you know, and it did get right on my nerves after a while, if I have to be honest. And you know, it's one of the things that you've got to consider when you're doing, you know, if you're thinking about commission work. Now, as I said, Lester Bursley did say about, what was it again? Got to try and remember now. I think from his video that he was thinking about not doing so much commission work, or even in fact stopping it, which I can agree with, and I can certainly sort of understand why, because when I do commission work, I'll do my very best for that person. Sometimes they want me to do a job on some models that I think, why are you doing this? This is ridiculous. And you know, and then you think, oh, I wouldn't do that. So you've got to basically remember that it's not your model, it's not your money, it's your time and your expertise and nothing else. If they want it that way, you've got to do it. It's not up for negotiation. You know, and I don't believe even Golden Demon winners and stuff like that, I don't believe anybody who does, if anybody does commission work, let's get rid of the hair that's flying around in my face, if you do commission work and you're thinking, well actually no, I'm going to do it like this because I think it looks better. No, you do exactly what the person who's paying your services for, you do what they say. And I did that one time for another commission, and yeah, it was sort of, I looked at it and I thought, oh, that looks awful. And I then put it on the DACA forum and I basically said, oh, here's a commission. And one bloke straight away slagged me right off, saying, oh yes, well, you know, I would give that 5 out of 10 if I wasn't voting, you know, if I was voting blah 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 blah, you've done this, you've that and the other. And it was like, yes, I've done that because I was asked to do that. And I actually had to then state that. I was like, yeah, this is what the customer wanted, therefore I did it. And so, you know, that's one thing I've got to consider. There was another thing on for commission work, you know, and I'm no way going to be big-headed enough just to say, oh yes, you know, I'm fantastic at painting, therefore I do commission work. I am good at painting, I will agree. I have got skills. I am no way near as good as many other people. I am awful lots better than many other people. It's very subjective, and what I think that's happening with the commission scene now, because as I said in my blog, if you follow it or read it, when I started back in, you know, first edition days, back in, yeah, this good old days, you know, for old, you know, real first edition and stuff, you know, you hardly heard of anybody doing. Actually, you didn't really hear many people playing it. But you certainly didn't hear about all people doing commission work and stuff like that. And since coming back into the hobby, you find out there's an awful lot of people that, oh yes, such and such studios, and I do this, and I've got a painting service, and all that sort of business. And there's been such a massive explosion of people doing commission work. It is really quite something. And as I said in my blog, when you see people doing commission work and you look at the stuff, you think, oh my word, somebody's paid you for that. And there was a prime example, again, on my blog. A chap in Dhaka said, yes, he was obviously very happy with what he did until he got the reviews back from fellow gamers and hobbyists. And he basically did a pre-Heresy Dreadnought. And he said, the opening line, if I remember rightly, was, the first commission from such and such studio. Basically, which is just him. So he said, this is what I've done. Fantastic, isn't it? And then the very first reply was, and somebody paid you for that. And you think to yourself, wow, okay, that's a really damning sort of statement for somebody to say. But it was so true, because the paint was so thick, it was ridiculous. The paint job was very bad. And then he sort of tried to cover his tracks saying, oh, well, they wanted me sort of to do this and do. Here's a picture of the best one I've done for myself, and it was just as bad. And you think, oh no. And then you sort of go, right, okay, again, your paints are far too thick, your edging is really uneven there, your shadowing isn't good. Just because you think you are good doesn't mean that you should be doing commission work. You must, as I said with most of the things, you must think about it subjectively. Just take a step back. If I think I'm good, should I start entering competitions? I entered competitions and stuff like that, and I've won a lot of competitions. And, painting competitions, that is. So you've just got to think to yourself, right, well, am I really, am I as good as I think I am? I'm going to stick a load of pictures on my Dhaka, forum, or other forums I belong to, like vampirecounts.net and all that sort of stuff. And you think to yourself, right, am I really that good? Please tell me what you're going to do. Bell of Lost Souls, they've got some fantastic things there, and a lot of people will vote very well. And so you go, right, okay, then let's see what the worldwide people think about my painting. And a lot of my painting, I've received very good reviews and stuff like that, which I'm very chuffed about. There's nothing better to be told something that you love doing, that you're doing it really well. Of course, there's always pointers and stuff like that that people give to you and stuff like that. So, but I mean, as I said, I've been involved in the hobby and stuff like that for a very long time. And as I said, you do sort of think to yourself, right, I'm a really good painter, therefore I'm going to start earning money. And you've got to take a step back and say, right, am I really that good? I'm going to ask other people. Just get a general consensus. There will always be some idiot. There will always be some tosser in this world, in this beautiful world of ours, that will say to you, no, I didn't like what you did. There will always be something like that. And I'm like Fraser Crane, I don't really handle critique that well, which is not a good thing. But, as I said, I've had people sort of say, oh, I don't like that. And then I think, well, why not? But then I think, well, they're entitled to their view. So I have to rein myself in. And, with commission work, you've got to think about that an awful lot. So before you start barreling on ahead thinking, yes, I want to do commission work, and I want to do this and the other, please think to yourself, well, maybe do I want to do that, maybe do I want to, So, another aspect, I mean, I'm trying to get through these aspects quickly because I know I have a tendency to prattle on and, you're most like snoring behind your computer screen now, so I do apologise. But, you've got to think, if I think I'm good, am I really that good to do commission work? Will I be able to sustain the sheer level of similar paint jobs and stuff? Because some people do say, right, I want 20 of these and I want them Legion of the Damned. And you think, oh, excellent, I can do flames. And then you think, oh, after about the 8th one, you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing flames again. It just gets on your tits, quite frankly. Then the cost. I've had people asking me how much I charge and stuff like that. I've had to find out the one way or another. And first of all, I was finding out that I was charging way too low, and that actually I was sort of in effect paying for doing these jobs. So basically, you've got to consider that kind of thing. And and then there are some people that actually do charge for putting your model together. which I think is a little bit, okay, you know, that's not very brilliant. You know, maybe you should just be painting for the whole thing, paying for the whole thing, but still, you know. So you've got to consider what you're going to include in your services and stuff like that. But you've got to be able to prove yourself, you know, prove yourself to your potential customers for what you're going to do. And what you are prepared to do and what you can do. Don't say, oh yes, I can green stuff you a new Storm Raven, which won't look anything like Forge World can make, and then find out it's absolutely a load of crap and you can't do it. You don't want to do stuff like that because you're going to get you know, with the world of the internet and stuff like that, you're going to get quite a big slating rather quickly. Unfortunately, as this chap did with the pre-Heresy Dreadnought, the person didn't buy it in the end and said, right, stuff it. So, you know, there are many aspects to consider, but the one thing I would certainly say about commission work, don't jump into it. You will get apathy. You will also find that your models will be sort of saying to you, hopefully not in a real sense, because if they are, then maybe you're going to see a shrink, but basically you're going to have some model going, you know, I need to be painted, I've got a tournament to go to, you know, that kind of thing, and you're thinking, oh damn, I've got all my models to do. Because when I do my commission work, I just do commission work, and I do only one person at a time for commission, because I think it's unfair, you know, doing a load from them and a load from that person and a load from that person. You know, don't put your own personal preferences into things. I mean, you can suggest them to your customer and say, well, do you think this would look good? You know, just remember, it's your services that are being bought, it's not your model and it's not for you. I mean, you know, also another thing that you've got to consider if you're doing commission work, or if you're even considering on purchasing commission work or for your work, for your stuff, don't always naturally assume that, oh yes, I want a full-on paint job done, detailing and stuff like that. I mean, of course you can get that stuff done. But my friend, yesterday after our battle, he asked me if I could do for him, where is he? Here he is, some awful thing, which died relatively quite quickly in our battle, which was unfortunate. This is a three-headed, oh, what is it again? Hello Scout, good boy. It's something, I can't remember. The name escapes me. Very beautiful looking model. He's got a cockatrice, a chimera or something, I think it is. Hello, big boy. Yeah, this is old Scrapper. Anyway, and he's just said to me, can I do a grading purple, blue sort of base coat? He'll do the rest. You know, and, you know, just terrain this little bit here. You know, he's asked me to do something like that. Which I'm thinking, well, yeah, fine, of course I can. I could do that. And, you know, because he's a mate, and it is a commission, you know, all jobs that you do for somebody else will be a commission, regardless of being a friend or whatever. I say, good lad, you sit on there, on my manufactured terrain. I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, fine, excellent, yes, I will do that, definitely. And because he's a mate, I'm not going to charge him half as much as I do, you know, for maybe some other people. So basically, he's just going to be buying me another model for my vampire counts. Fantastic, you know, it's not going to take me too long to grade this and whatever have you. So, hello, yeah, that's it, ruin everything. Go on, you big son, that's it, good luck. Let's see what I have to deal with. And that's when they do that when you're trying to paint as well. But anyway, remember that not all commissioned work is going to be a full-on paint job. Try to think to yourself, well, okay, you know, it's not going to be a full-on paint job. Somebody just maybe wants me to just base coat a huge amount of space, you know, ultramarines, as I had to do for another mate, you know, and I did that, and he gave me, what was it again, a load of zombies and stuff like that. So, the one thing is that you've got to consider, and this is so important, I'm trying not to rant, don't always naturally think, I love painting, I think I'm pretty good at it, therefore I'm going to do a commission. Just try to think to yourself, will I be happy doing it? You know, Lester Bursley, Golden Demon winner, and all that sort of stuff. I mean, he's pretty damn good at his job, you can see it. Well, it's painting rather. I don't know what his job is. It might be just commission work, but he did say, you know, that he's got fed up with commission and he's stopping it. Be prepared for that will happen, because you will get the Warhammer Joey stated apathy. It will happen. So anyway, YouTube, this is a bit of a random sort of discussion on commission. If you've got any questions or any comments or any suggestions or anything below, please do put it, you know, down below and what have you. And me and a slightly dishevelled scamp when his brother Milo comes in later, we'll catch you later.